Now the last film that I done, I was talking about a small burial ground in the centre of Galashiels, and it's kind of made me think about cemeteries and burial grounds and that at Galashiels, and there's one that I've uncovered a couple of wee snippets of information about, which is known as Torwood Lee Burial Ground. So I'm up here today in the sort of Wood Street, Torwood Lee area of Galashiels to see what I can find. So come and join me. This is like the main Peebles to Gala road up there via Cloven Fords. I've never really walked in this area before, so it's all new to me. I'm sure this cemetery's about here somewhere. Isn't it here, is it? Nah, I think that's it. The otters are everywhere along the Tweed and the Gala. Now they've really established themselves again. It's great to watch. Pretty sure this isn't going to take us to the cemetery, but I think I'll go down here for a scooch about anyway. Pretty sure that Ryehawk new railway bridge is down here. I could go and have a look at that actually. Here it is, the new Ryehawk railway bridge. Absolutely stunningly sublime wonder of modern engineering. Yeah, the burial ground's definitely not as far along as this anyway, but I'm going to head back towards the Torwood Lee, Cloven Fords area to see if I can find anything up there. One thing that you do come to along here, which is quite a famous landmark, is the ruins of Torwood Lee Tower. There it is. Quite impressive actually, I've never been up here before. Yeah, so here it is, Torwood Lee Tower. This was the home of the Hoppringle or Pringle family way back in the 16th century. They're kind of rich landowners in Galashiels who probably intimidated people to get what they wanted. I don't know that, like, I'm just surmising that why has one person got a mansion like this and everybody else was living in abject poverty at the time. The place is actually crumbling away to nothing. It looks like something's fallen quite recently. Mind you, a wee bit of plaster, a couple of units of MDF, a new kitchen. Wouldn't be too bad actually. But you look how thick the walls are. It was obviously heavily fortified at the time of the borders, reavers and such like. You can see a wee gun hole at the other side there as well. Remains a spiral staircase snaking up the tower there. Anyway, enough about this talk of Torwood Lee Tower. This is a well documented and well versed piece of history, which, you know, if you Google it you can find out anything you want about this and see hundreds of photographs of it. What I'm after is something a bit more hidden, a bit more mysterious, and it's the Torwood Lee Chapel. This is the only piece of writing I can find about it. The chapel is supposed to have been a chapel to ease Melrose and to have been dismantled about the time that Abbey was destroyed The walls were completely taken away to build dikes and to erect the Isle of Torwood Lee burial ground, which is still used for burials by the Pringle family today. The chapel site is quite visible. The foundations have not been removed. That was written in 1858. In 1934 somebody else visited the site. It says no traces can now be seen in the chapel. So in 1934 the chapel was gone. But the oblong burial enclosure measuring 26 feet by 31 feet is still there. It may date from the 17th century. Rybats on the entrance of the west wall are chamfered in the manner of that time. The doorway has been almost entirely rebuilt, the date of reconstruction being given as 4809 on the uppermost wall. So let's go and see if we can still see this. 1934 was the last recorded piece of history about this burial ground. I'm beginning to wonder if it even exists. But there's only one way to find out, so let's go and have a look. The Pringle family, who were the landowners of the Torwoodley estate and probably still are, I've actually got their own website sort of charting the history of the Pringle family and the Torwoodley estate since they arrived in Gala in 1501 or something like that. And it's a pretty comprehensive history covering all aspects of the family, the estate and the buildings, but they never ever even speak once about the chapel or the burial ground. Which kind of makes me wonder why do they leave that out? Is there something bad about it, or has something happened there or something? But I don't know why they don't speak about it. But if my ancient map is correct, then the burial ground and the chapel will be in this wooded area over here somewhere, so let's go and have a look. Just kind of skirted round the wood along the main road and cut the other side of the wall here. Can't see much in there now, but if I just climb this wall here, I'll have a look. No. Oh, shit. I'm not seeing much in here. It's maybe the whole thing's maybe just been destroyed through time, I don't know. And you, wait a minute. What is that? What the hell is that? Oh yes. Wow, this looks like it. Oh no. Don't be crapping it now, like. Should have brought somebody else with me. Can't really control the tree. There's the inscription on the wall. This is it. Wow. It's smaller than I thought it would be. Doesn't look like any of the stones are stacked. There's that big crypt stone there, you can hear how hollow it is. What did they fall through a grave? Oh no, what's happened? Where's my camera? Where's my phone? What happened to all the bodies? So there you have it, folks. Torwoodley Chapel Burial Ground. Another piece of unwritten Galashiels history. Why not come up and have a look for yourself? No, it really does. It just amazes me the amount of history that is actually in this really small Galashiels area. It's absolutely jam-packed with stuff, and it's not always the stuff you read about in the books and magazines. That tends to be the stuff that the rich landowners like the Pringles wanted you to know about, the old mansion buildings and that. What they didn't want you to know about was the graveyard. They forgot about where all the relatives were buried and just left them to rot under the bushes. I don't know, maybe they moved the bodies like, but for some reason they don't want you to know about it. Then again, I suppose it's a kind of common aspect of all graveyards, isn't it? You get forgotten about. As soon as people pass into the second or third generation down the line, the graves just get left. Doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. Nobody's bothered about their grandfather's grandfather, are they? Big thanks to Galashiels lad Stuart Wilson for the tip-off about the cemetery at Torwoodley there.